Okay, we are live. The pagan path is a lonely path. It's true. That's just life, I guess. That's just how it is. That's how it works. Um, and I want to talk about that because I think it matters, and I think it actually affects the lives of other so-called pagans. We are a lonely bunch of people, and also, um, whenever I talk about this, some people they feel a need to unsubscribe to the channel, which I find hilarious because it kind of underlines one of the things that I'm saying here, which is that Christianity in general it's not tolerant. It really isn't. Um, so I kind of wanted to talk about this, and I've had some growth on this channel lately. So let's destroy that and and get the channel back down again. Um, yeah, YouTube is such a joke now, anyway. But anyway, let's see here. Uh, we have people joining here. You have to be a subscriber to the channel to join the chat, by the way. Hi there, Carola. Angela Tyrdam. Jake in Japan is here. Renee. All the good people are here. So, yeah. So, this is my experience, okay? I'm sure that you have noticed the following. People, it seems like more and more people, they call it they find God, and they won't specify which God, but I assume it's the the vision of God from the Abrahamic religions, right? And and then they do that, and I'm always like, um, good for you, you know. I'm quite tolerant, actually. um, who would have known? I'm quite tolerant, at least when it comes to these things, but I'm kind of expecting what comes next. And what comes next in each of these cases, what comes next is that then you don't hear from these people anymore. You might get a message or two, and then complete radio silence. And that's like, at this point, expected. And I guess they are then building their own community, or rather becoming part of a community with fellow Christians. And that's nice, I guess. They have a church that they go to, maybe. Well, most often they do that. And so they have their own stuff going on. But there is more to it. And I think that there is an intolerance there in Christianity and among Christians, where people that are not Christians, people that actually oppose Christianity, because let's not kid ourselves, if you are a pagan, you do oppose Christianity, you disagree. I disagree with the main pillars of Christianity. And they don't like that. And I can understand that. That's fine. But it results in the following: when people go to Christianity, you kind of lose those people. You lose those people. They're gone. And it's like, it's a bit sad. I think it shouldn't have to be like that, but it is in the core of Christianity, that intolerance and that idea that they are a separate species, almost from other people. So yeah, it's a bit sad. And I won't say that I've lost a lot of friends to Christianity, but there's like two or three or four at this point. Um, Now I know in the comments, maybe if we have this Irish guy coming here to the chat, and they will say that it's they have found the right path, and they are doing a good thing and so on. Okay, but it's like, no, I disagree. You need to understand, I disagree. Why the hell would I agree with that? I, I I'm not a Christian, so I'm not going to bend the knee and agree with whatever these people are saying. I oppose what they're saying. Let's not kid ourselves. I oppose Christianity. And don't even give me all that crap about, oh, but you don't understand what Christianity is about and this and that. No, I do. And yes, I oppose it. Now, you can be a Christian. That's fine. I don't oppose you. And I'm quite tolerant to your beliefs as long as they don't affect me. But history has shown us that eventually they will. And yeah, okay, let's move on a little bit. Now, I don't like the word pagan because it's wrong. It's like a name that was it's slander. It really is. And but it's like you have that and heathen, and both are negative names actually. But we tend to use pagan most, and in order for people to, I could say said, but nobody understands. So that's why I say pagan. But it's a slanderous expression. Um, so let's yeah. I'll use pagan. Okay, but what I'm seeing now is that also paganism is kind of being. I'm extremely conservative. I'm an extremely conservative person, actually. And I don't like it when these people, for instance, when they come to this festival across the fjord here, that was last weekend, I think, and they Midgårdsblot, and they smear themselves with horse blood, and they jump around with their nose rings and their crazy hair, and it's like they're all Vikings. And come on, it's to me that's not only idiotic, but it has nothing to do with paganism. It's just a it's just extreme. Those people are extreme extroverts, and I don't like their noise. I don't like their what they're doing, and I kind of hate that they are seen as pagans. When people, I guess they do internet searches. No, people don't do internet searches anymore. I guess they have their AI now. So I don't know what the fuck the AI is telling you. Don't search. Don't use AI, please don't. But it's like it will be wrong. It's not going to be correct. So this new kind of commercialized, picture friendly, or should I say Instagram friendly paganism, I don't like that. It's not paganism. It really isn't. It's for show. It's for the clicks. It comes from, it's paganism without roots. It's said without the said. And people can look that up. You know. Oh, Archer, thank you so much for your donation. I know you're writing, but I know you're going through a lot right now. I left Christianity because they treat everyone who isn't Christian as inferior to them. Yeah, I've kind of noticed that. I will say not all Christians, not all priests are like that. Not all priests. No, no. So yeah, but again, what is paganism? What is it? Now, some people will disagree with what I'm saying now, but I have found that paganism is what remains when you strip away all the rituals. Yes, all the rituals, all the props, all the fancy words, when you strip away everything except you and nature. So I actually think that paganism is what you find when you have no vision of God's, no idea of how it's supposed to be, but it's just you connecting with nature with an open mind, clean, open mind. What you find in that connection is what people would call, is what I call true paganism. Some people will disagree. I don't care. That's what it is. And I think it's dishonest to say that when people say today that they believe Odin is real, I think it's dishonest. Honestly, I think it's dishonest. Um, and I think that the honest answer, the honest perception of the gods is that they are representations or symbolic representations of important, essential concepts in nature, life, and death. And those, don't get me wrong, those symbolic representations are extremely important. And there will be people who say that, oh, Odin was a chieftain once. He was a human being and all of that. Yeah, but it's like, are you really, if you're a pagan and you disagree with what I'm saying now, if you're completely honest with yourself, do you believe in the vision of the gods that were shaped in during the Viking Age and before that? Do you really believe that? I don't think so. I think that we need to consider that as important symbols. And the core of paganism, you know what? Actually, we can disagree on that, but we have to agree. You have to agree with me if you want to call yourself a pagan. Well, actually, we don't want to call ourselves pagans, but that you can scroll. You can go back to what I said about that. If you want to be in connection with your sed, that how should I put this? I'll use the word pagan. Okay, you have to understand that the core of that is that connection with nature and you being nature. So I think that's important to realize. And that's I don't care so much about symbols and rituals, actually. And someone's writing, is that an atheist who enjoys the outdoors? No, no, it is not. It is not. Um, I guess you can build on that, but it's all symbols. It's all symbols. Unless you really believe that there is a God called Odin, he has sons, and there are uh, two species of the or two great families, so to speak, of the gods. Unless you believe in all of that, like literally, you have to understand that it really is all about your connection with nature. An atheist would probably feel that connection too. A Christian will feel that connection too, if they really take the time to sit down and they manage to remove their ideas on how it should be. It's all about an open mind. It's not Buddhism either. So this is a difficult topic, and it you know it will actually, this one will provoke a lot of self-proclaimed pagans and heathens out there. Again, I don't care. I actually don't care what you think. Um, but if you do not build your beliefs on that connection, you have no roots. Now, part of that connection is your ancestry, it's your land, your connection with the land. Um, you could say that it would be correct to use a word like spiritual connection, but I don't like to use that word, because then you have to define what spiritual is. The connection, right? And then you could say that, well, I really hope that there is an afterlife. I really, really hope that it is similar to what my ancestors during the Viking Age saw and what they hoped for. I really hope for that. And I do live by, I try my best to live by their standards. So, but I don't know. And I don't think anyone knows. Um, so, yeah. And no, this is not atheism. This is not atheism. Atheism is very different. Atheism is it's in the word, right? You believe that there is no God, um, and I don't know. I don't know. There might be a God. Um, it's an interesting discussion, you know. Um, People who subscribe to the Abrahamic faiths, they believe that something came from nothing. They honestly believe that something came from nothing. It's ironic that they try to blame the atheists for that, because it is actually the people who subscribe to the Abrahamic religions who believe that something came from nothing. But that perception is maybe too complicated for those people to comprehend. Um, so no, atheism is not a belief. Well, actually, there is a belief that there is no God, but you also have atheists who say that they are agnostic. I would, yeah, but this is not going to be about atheism. It gets the Christian people who follow the channel into a frenzy. I know. And I don't have time for that. Rome had to become a church to learn how to not kill everyone. No, that was not why. No, that was not why. Um, the emperor understood that if he could place himself directly under one god, he would have a lot more power. But anyway, so um, let's see here. So, what is said that I have talked about here? What is that? Carola mentioned Forn said. So, uh, it's is there an English word for that? Not really. Um, I think it's like your customs and habits that you inherited from your parents and so on, that connect you to the spiritual world, maybe. Maybe that's how we could define it. Uh, the Norse did not have a word for religion, as far as I know. No word for, like, this is my religion. They wouldn't say that. But they had their sed, which means that it's like when you look at the language, you can tell a lot about how people lived. Like in Norway, we have a lot of words for different sorts of snow. The Inuits have even more words for snow, um, because we have a lot of snow here. Sed means that when they referred to that, they meant how their connection and their lives, their daily lives were interconnected with the spiritual world, the ancestry, their ancestors, their deceased ancestors, with nature, with forces of nature, and so on. It was just intertwined into their daily lives. And they did offerings, not like in the movies. It's not like in those Hollywood movies. They would maybe have offered some, a cup of beer in a corner of their house, where they would have had some symbolic representations of the gods that they felt closest to. Like if you were a farmer, you would probably feel quite close to. Uh, how do you say it in English? I'll just pronounce it in the Norwegian way: Frøy and Thor. Frey being the farmer's god, and Thor obviously a god of fertility, and also a protector of human beings. So it was part of life. It was not like a separate thing. If you look at Christianity today, it's very separated from daily life. Some Christians, they live a life not at all in accordance with the teachings of Jesus. But they just go to church, and they stick their fingers into each other, and they bend their head, and they listen to some guy who reads from the Bible, and then all is fine, and they go back to drinking and fornication and whatever they do. So yeah, and I think that my perception here, my perception of paganism is more true, um, closer to how it used to be, and more true, and also more adapted to the fact that we live in a different kind of society and a different culture now. I honestly think that my kind of, if you want to call it paganism, my kind of paganism is more true. It's more honest, compared to this new kind of paganism that you could see on display at the Midgardsblot festival, where people fucking drunk and hopefully only drunk, but jumping up and down with their nose rings, smearing themselves with blood, pretending to be Vikings, while holding their smartphone and taking selfies. So I think that's fake. I think it's for show. I think it has nothing to do with true paganism. Um, and I have said before that, you know what? If you are, let's say, a Christian, and you have a real connection with nature, you go out into nature, out into the woods, and you have a campfire. You sit by the campfire, and you feel that connection. You know what? You are more of a pagan than those people who are just showing off. You are more in connection with nature, with the spirits, so to speak, than those people. That's my opinion. Um, but yeah, now, uh, obviously, this long speech here, about the fake pagans, um, it's it sets me apart from the majority of pagans, I believe. Um, oh, Stealth Mode, welcome as a member to the channel. Welcome. Um, it does set me apart, but I feel it's more true and better, more honest. But yeah, it's lonely. Not saying that I'm lonely, but it's a lonely path to walk. Um, because you won't find me in those groups where they meet and they try to they, they say words they don't understand about the gods, and they try to recreate rituals that they don't comprehend. um, you won't find me there. So I think that this is, well, it's my fault. Maybe I don't want to be part of that, and so it's a lonely path. It's a lonely path, and that's okay. Odin. I speak about Odin as a person, uh, or or as God. Um, what is a god? Did you know that a god, it has different meanings to different people, actually, and different cultures? A god, the threshold for being a god was much lower in the past. Did you know that? Um, so to me, Odin is very important. And Odin was lonely. He's like this traveler, the wanderer, and he's always seeking knowledge and to learn more. Um, and I can kind of relate to that because that's my work, basically. um, and if you look at the people who they would go to during the Viking Age and before that, and it's the same in other cultures, pre-Christian cultures. Those were the wise woman, the wise man. They spent a lot of time alone, and they spent a lot of time in nature. You will see that tradition even seeping into early Christianity, where these prophets, they would go into um, out into the desert and into nature and spend time alone there. Um, and that's a tradition that comes from a pre-Christian past. So you need that loneliness and that solitude. Solitude is a better word, I guess. You need that to find that connection. So what I will say now is that I understand, and this is a response to comments I always get. And people say that they live in a city and it's difficult to get out into nature. So what I will say is that yes, I understand, and what can you do? Well, of course, you can try to find a park. Maybe you can try to plan for a hike in the woods to get out of the city, because I really think that it is necessary. I think it's a necessary. I think it's a necessity. Um, and also, and I'm not even kidding here now. Get some plants into your apartment, because that's nature, right? And I mean, you can do that. It is simple, and it helps. But yeah, try to find time to get out of the city, because I don't think that I I don't think you can find that connection in a city. It's too noisy. Some people will say that, well, everything is nature. A city is nature too, and yeah, that's true. But it's very difficult to find that connection if you're in the middle of a city. So um, try to get out. Um, yeah. Now, don't get me wrong here. The gods, the Norse gods, are immensely important. It's just that I do not believe that they are real entities, like physical beings in a different dimension. I do not believe that. It would be very cool, but I have no. I'm too skeptical and too analytical to believe in that. You know, so they are symbols. They are probably all. They probably all come from a place where, from they all maybe started with physical people. Um, I don't know, but the main thing here is that they are symbolic representations of important things in nature, in life, in death. And Tyr was mentioned here. Um, he represents actually the rules of war and um, fairness, courage. He is the one who lost his hand to the Fenris wolf, and all so it's not like, I'm not saying that the gods don't matter. They really, really do. And the gods together form the ideals and the understandings of the universe in the Norse so-called paganism, or the Norse so-called pagan beliefs. And that is important. That is important. You will not find the same in other religions. It is different. So that's actually an important thing to talk about as well. Norse paganism is not just like any other um, ancient belief system. It is different. And I think that's maybe a topic for a different video, but I get people here who say that, oh, so it's like atheism, oh, so it's like Buddhism, oh, so it's like any other ancient nature religion. No, it is not. It really isn't. It really isn't. So let's get to the chat here a little bit. Yeah, old man, what are your thoughts on the universe and its creation? Do you think it was a Big Bang or created? Well, I don't know. I don't know. But if it was created, then you have to believe that it's possible to make something out of nothing. I think we as human beings, we can't understand that at all. And the monotheistic, well, all belief systems have an explanation for how everything started. At least all of them that I have come across, because people really, really like to have answers to everything. Atheism doesn't, and that's because it's not a belief system. So, yeah, I don't know. Neither do any of you. No, there is no human being who knows how the universe began. No. Let's see here. A question here. Do you know what the bridge represents, please? You mean the rainbow bridge then? I assume you mean the rainbow. It what it represents, it is a bridge from the human world to the world of the gods. And that's simply what it is. So it was used by when Odin and I should say both Odin and Thor they traveled to the human world, and of course Thor, he has his chariot pulled by his goats, but it's a bridge. It's just a bridge, and the rainbow will always represent that bridge to me. And it's funny because not I don't really want to get into the whole LGBTQ thing, the litter people and all of that, but they use the rainbow. So every month, is it June? Yeah, it's June. They have that month, and the rainbow flag is all over the place or everywhere. And I'm like, why do you use our symbol? And why? That's Bifrost. Why do you do that? Um, you know, but okay, yeah. That kind of brings me to another thing I just wanted to say, and it's a bit of uh, a grievance that I have. I have many grievances. They just seem to pile up on top of each other. So many now. Um, but one of my grievances is that people in Norway, and I suppose it's the same in Sweden and Denmark as well. They know very little about the Viking Age, and they know very little about Norse said, or they would say Norse mythology, which is a big shame, um, because that's who we are, the way I see it, and it annoys me. And I see the Vikings, even the word Viking, it's not correct, but we use the word. I use it too. Um, but well, the Vikings were the people who went raiding and exploring. So just some of the people of the Norse people, but yeah, they know very little. They heard most people have heard about Thor, and they think now that Thor is like Thor in the Marvel movies, which makes me so mad, and I hate those movies with a passion. And when if you ask a school child in Norway to draw Mjolnir, well, they wouldn't know what that is. But if you ask them to draw Thor's hammer, they will draw a fucking sledgehammer, like in those movies. Uh, and I'm like, what's going on here? No, that's not how Mjolnir looks. It's described. They didn't have the dwarves who made it. They didn't have enough metal for the handle, so that's why it has a short handle. Um, and yeah, they so this annoys me. All of this annoys me. A lot of things annoys me, but this annoys me too. And they should bring they. You know what? If I were to decide, a lot of things would be different. A lot of things. Um, One of the things that I would change is what they teach people in schools. I would have a minimum of hours spent on foreign religions like Christianity, Islam, and what have you. And the kids would be taught a lot about, um, again, Norse, the Norse belief system. Um, yeah, that's what I would do. And you know what? The kids would find it a lot more exciting. A lot more exciting. Actually, when I was a kid, people sometimes said when you had thunder and lightning, oh, that's Thor. They would say, Thor. They're Thor. Do you hear that now? Does anyone say that now? I don't think so. So, yeah. Okay. Um, Let's see here. Yeah, Wendy, thank you for mentioning that. Worship the oak, or letting people know that its deep roots are likely holding up your hillside. Yeah, yeah. Now, the oak is, of course, very much connected to Thor. Thor. Um, it's his tree, um, and yeah, I have beautiful oaks on my property. Managed to get two of them protected by the municipality, so that when I'm gone, they won't be allowed. People won't be allowed to cut them down. Um, yeah. Stuf, you're saying you're answering to replying to MacGyver. Um, so I'll. You're saying it's freaking lonely, but in group like settings, there are concepts, and you can lose the self into rules and such. Absolutely. You know what? I think that goes for all belief systems. I think it goes even for atheism, um, but especially, of course, the religions that have been institutionalized, like Christianity. Actually, Islam is much more like that, because they have their, prayers several times a day, and a complete legal system that is just rubbish. All of that, honestly. Um, yeah, and if it's like, I do not respect Islam. Um, I I kind of respect Christianity in a way, but it depends. It depends on how. It depends on if whether those people leave me alone or not. Usually they don't. Not like they knock on my door. Well, actually, that happened once. Two elderly ladies. I was upstairs taking a bath, and I really, really wanted to let them know what I think. But I opened the window, and they didn't see. I was naked, of course, because I just got out of the bath. But because they only saw me from chest up, but they got really scared, and they went away. So they never came back. Um, so that was funny. Never had any of these Christian people here after that. Um, yeah, so they leave me alone. It's like, now they didn't peek in my window. I was upstairs, so I opened the window and I looked down at them, and I asked, "What are you doing here?" And then they just went away. Yeah. uh, so um, let's see here. My opinion on museums eliminating physical exhibitions and replacing them with holographic projections in order to prevent theft. I didn't know that they do that. Um, I think no. People need to see the objects. Um, yeah. Um, No, but it's like if people want to be Christians or Muslims or Buddhists or atheists or whatever, they can do that. But but I think the difference is that I have no problem with that, but they have a problem with me not believing in their sky god. That's the difference. That's the difference. Oh, Tore, that's awesome. 3 years old, thunderstorm in northern Norway, and your mom said it was Tor with his goats. Um, Stuf, is it your birthday? Congratulations. Congratulations. Have a very happy day, very happy celebration. um, so, yeah, I know Muslims hate pagans. They really do. They really do. They hate us much more than they hate Christians, actually. Yeah. Uh, yeah. But yeah, it's a lonely path, and maybe that's how it need to be. I think part of the reason why it's lonely is that a lot of, let's just use the word pagans, do not like to be told what to do or what to think. So we avoid those groups where people, some people, they speak on behalf of the whole group. We avoid all of that. And also, there's a major difference between the monotheistic religions, at least between Christianity and Islam and so called paganism. I won't ever try to convert people, not going to do that. And of course, Christians and Muslims, they're all about trying to convert people. And yeah, so of course they will get more followers. Uh, and so-called pagans, we don't care if you're a pagan or not. I really don't care. Well, that's not actually true. I'm happy for you if you find that connection. I will be very happy for you, but I'm not going to ask you to do that. I'm not going to try to convince you, because it wouldn't work either. It needs to come from you. That connection with nature needs to come from you. That needs to be something that you want to find. If I told you that now you must find that connection with nature, go out into nature, and no, it wouldn't work. So um, no, I'm not going to bang you on the head with Thor's hammer. No. uh, no. So spot on, says Tydom. Well, thank you. Hopefully, you're referring to me. I hope I was spot on with something. Um, let's see here. So yeah. Yeah, the Daily Wire, those people, it's amazing to me that they have gotten such a large following. Um, it's just amazing to me because can't people see what they are doing? Uh, they're salesmen. They're using outrage and hate to get attention, and they're using that to promote stuff that, and they will get money for promoting stuff, of course. Um, Thank you, Tilda. Thank you. So it's like the best example, I think, is this. No, there are many people now. There was this guy who went around. He made a movie. What is a woman? And he went to these crazy feminists and LGBT people, and they couldn't answer. And that's his concept. That's his entire movie. Of course, they won't answer that. But that's used to sell ads. Come on, that's all it's about. That's all there is. Oh, it's such a Christian thing. It's such a Christian thing to use outrage and clickbait to sell ads for all sorts of products and crap you don't need. It's such a Christian thing. Actually, the greed that is on display there when you have this little Jew. He's like, what's his name? I can never remember his name. Yeah, doesn't matter. He's a Jew. It's not racist to say that. He says it himself all the time. Oh, Ben Shapiro. Yeah, it's no, he's not a Christian, obviously, but I mean, it's fucking greedy. And these people, the guy with what is a woman movie? How Christian are you when you're that greedy? I'm just, and now they have this other guy. I don't know if he's in Daily Wire, but he's like, every time I look at him, I feel like throwing up, um, because it's this. What's this? I can't remember. I don't. You know what? I don't remember these names because I don't want to. My subconscious mind has erased their names from my memory. But anyway, oh yes, here it comes. Charlie Kirk, is it? Charlie Kirk. So he's essentially going to universities, and he's a grown man, and he has all his arguments uh, in front of him on a note, and he makes a living out of arguing against unprepared teenagers. And I'm like, he should be ashamed of himself. Should be ashamed of himself. And oh, he's so Christian. He's so Christian. But I do understand that people like that are hated. Well, maybe hate is not the right word, but it's because that's apparently a sin. But they are not liked by other Christians, like what I would call true Christians. And I do have some respect for true Christians. I have zero respect and only contempt for people like uh, Matt Walsh, people like that. Uh, Zero respect. If you're going to stand there and argue against people. It's like fighting, physical fighting. Um, don't fight teenage girls if you're a man, right? You go and you fight someone your own size, a man, right? So it's to me it's just disgusting what they do there. And it's all about getting attention, getting the clicks, using rage bait, and all of that. So yeah, that's that it's quite disgusting actually. But yeah, they do follow that very very Christian tradition of greediness, which has been on display by for centuries. Um, let's see here. Did YouTube? Oh, Wendy, I'm so sorry. Um, YouTube kicked you out for the oak comment. I don't know what YouTube is doing now. YouTube is a crap platform because of the AI. It's the AI that is fucking everything up. I'm sorry. Was it the oak word? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm glad you're back. Yeah, it's not me doing it. I honestly, why would I do that? Yeah, no. So that's just. I was thinking about another topic that I could have talked about. I chose this one, but uh, basically YouTube being such a crap platform now because of well AI is just ruining everything. It's greed. It's greed again. They just want to milk the platform before it's completely destroyed, and it's like I see all these videos where people are saying they steal each other's title as well. Why you should make a YouTube channel even if nobody is watching. Have you seen that? And I like YouTube is an easy mode and so on and so on. No, it's not. It really is not. So I was going to make a video, like or a live stream, um, which would be very negative. Um, it's if you're thinking about making a YouTube channel, I would actually advise against it. I mean, if you really want to make videos, but go ahead, do that, but don't expect to get views because the platform now is just no, it's not good at all. So hallelujah. I'm typing comments about deism and ancient gods, and the AI is erasing them. Yeah. It's yeah. I don't know how the AI works, but I'm suspecting that they have put words into there and they program it so that it will promote certain things and censor other things. Um, it would be easy to do, I believe. So, um, yeah, I see it in my videos too, on the main channel. And this channel, of course, is never going to take off. Yeah, I know I have more than 100,000 subscribers. YouTube doesn't care about that, but at all anymore. But it's like it's never moving forward. It's not. And Yeah, Shining Knuckles. I say no, it's not a lot because when you do live streams, it's difficult to, especially in a language that is not yours, it's difficult to find the right words. So I am, yeah. Um, oh, thank you. Welcome as a subscriber to the channel. Um, so it's not going to move forwards, but I see the channels that are really having an astronomical growth. I've seen some of them. AI channels and channels where someone is sitting reacting to other videos. And to me, that's not real content. I would rather want to watch the original content. I'm not interested in someone's opinion about another video. I'm not interested in that. I do not want to give that person a click, a view at all. I want to see the original video. But that seems to be what they do now. So they just regurgitate other people's stuff. Yeah, that's, you know what, I'll probably talk about that another time. The Osmanli says, the members of this channel are educated, open-minded gentlemen and ladies. I salute them all. Thank you, and I agree. Yeah, wouldn't that be funny? A gaming channel, yes, or a reaction channel. You know how many views I could get on a reaction channel? I'll just take all the viral videos and react to them. But where's the honor in that? There is no honor in that. No honor at all. Matthew says, why do millions of people watch videos of people watching videos? I think it's that's easy to answer. It's because they feel that they are watching that video with a friend, and people are lonely. That's what's going on. So it's not complicated, you know. And those videos are so easy to make. Yeah. So yeah, Archer says the only way I can see it working is if big YouTube. So a big YouTube channel is reacting to a video. You have a small channel, and then you get noticed. Archer, yes, actually, that used to be a thing in the past, but no. So okay, so here's how it works on YouTube now. If you want to know, have you noticed that I rarely share links to other videos anymore? Other people's videos. Have you noticed that? And I don't share my videos on my main channel. So my like my lifting vlog, I don't share those videos anymore on my main channel. So why is that? Why is that? If you want to, you're actually not helping a channel if you're sharing the video. And the reason is that, so these reaction videos, they are not helping that smaller channel. On some occasions, maybe if they have the exact same audience. Usually they don't have that. So here's what's going on now. So let's say you react to a smaller channel's video. And if the so-called creator who reacts is kind enough to share a link. Very often they don't do that, and people go there to the smaller channel. They watch the video. Usually they won't, but if they do, they will most likely watch only a few seconds of that original video. Then they click out, they click off. That tells the YouTube algorithm that this video is boring, it's not worth recommending. That shuts off traffic to the entire channel. So this is important, and that's why you're not helping channels by reacting to them. You're not helping smaller channels by reacting to the videos unless you have the exact same audience. And you might get a search. There's an example here. Someone now has 80,000 subscribers, but that's actually not a good thing, because in most cases, those subscribers will not keep watching the videos on that channel. And so it becomes a hindrance moving forward for that smaller channel. Because if you have a lot of subscribers and you get suddenly a lot of subscribers, and then you make some videos and those subscribers don't care watching your new video, and that happens again and again, that tells the YouTube algorithm that your new videos should not be recommended. They should not appear in the feed. So this is, quite important. Yeah, Archer, you would not get 100,000 people watching you, because you would get, maybe if you got 100,000 subscribers coming in from another channel, it wouldn't matter. It used to be different, but now it's not. Now it wouldn't matter. Hugin, thank you for watching my videos. Yeah, well, the only thing that matters on YouTube now is watch time. Honestly, there are some people who say that commenting also matter, but watch time is the king. Watch time is king. So yeah. As far as I know, YouTube doesn't count views under 30 seconds as a view anymore. Right? So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, well, when it comes to Asmon Gold, I will say that up until actually yesterday, I was subscribed to his channel for a little while, for a few days, but it was only reaction videos. And I discovered that he's only doing reaction videos, and I'm not interested in that. But I will say that from what I've seen, he is at least respectful to the people he's reacting to, which I think you should be. So that's good, that's good. But I still think that for me, I'm more interested in watching the original video, right? So how did you find out all these details about YouTube and the algorithm surely not from YouTube? Well, I've done quite a bit of testing. And also I do follow the channels where they analyze YouTube and how it works. So, okay. That's all for now. I am hungry. I need to have my breakfast. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Wow. Yeah, then I really need my breakfast. Okay. Have a wonderful day or night. I'll see you soon.